Reverend Father Power, distinguished guests, parents, teachers, friends, and graduates. My name is Colin McCarthy, and I'll be your Master of Ceremonies for this evening. Good evening, and welcome to our graduation exercises for 1993. We are honored to have all of you present for this important occasion, and we hope you will enjoy your evening with us. We now begin our exercises by asking Father Power to give a blessing. Father Power, please.
God, our Almighty Father, we ask you to bless us all assembled here this evening on this very special occasion. We ask you to bless in a very particular way our graduates, and also to bless the food which we are about to eat. And we ask this in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
May I have your attention, ladies and gentlemen, please? I would now like to introduce our head table guests. Starting at my extreme left, we have Mr. Pat Stamp, Mayor of St. Vincent's, St. Stephen's, Peters River, and his wife, Mrs. Madonna Stamp. Next, we have Mr. Clyde Foley, Mayor of Gaskers, Point LaHaye, and his wife, Mrs. Marjorie Foley. Next, we have Mr. John Moriarty and his wife, Mrs. Bonnie Moriarty, Principal of St. Anne's Elementary. Seated next, we have Mr. Carl Bishop, our guest speaker for this evening, and his wife, Mrs. Rhonda Bishop. Next, we have Mr. Edward Power, Assistant Superintendent for the Western Avalon Roman Catholic School Board, and his wife, Mrs. Olive Power. Seated next, we have Reverend Father Power, Parish Priest of St. Mary's, St. Vincent's. Next, we have Mrs. Shirley Yetman, Principal of Dunn Memorial Academy, and her husband, Mr. Adrian Yetman. Next, we have Mrs. Elizabeth McDonald, Principal of Dunn Primary, and her husband, Mr. Henry McDonald. Next, we have Mrs. Lorraine Brown, Vice Chairperson of Western Avalon Roman Catholic School Board, and her husband, Mr. Clyde Brown. Seated next, we have Mr. Jack O'Brien, School Board Trustee for Holyrood. Next, we have Mrs. Pearl Colley, Local School Board Representative. Seated next, we have Mr. Earl Colley, representing the Community Council of Riverhead, and his wife, Mrs. Pat Colley. Seated next, we have Mr. Huey Yetman, Mayor of St. Mary's, and his wife, Mrs. Elizabeth Yetman. And finally, we have Mrs. Janet Dillon and her husband, Mr. Charles Dillon, Vice Principal of Dunn Memorial Academy. We also have some special guests sitting at the table along the far wall that we would like to recognize this evening. Because they are not so visible because of where they are sitting, I would like for them to stand briefly after they are introduced. Starting at my extreme left again, and we have Mr. Tom McCarthy, Vice Principal, St. Catherine's Academy, and his wife, Mrs. Madonna McCarthy. Next, we have Mrs. Betty Colley, President of Ladies Auxiliary of the Holy Name Society, and her husband, Mr. Hugh Colley. Next, we have Mrs. Elizabeth Lee, President of Royal Canadian Legion, Rank 62. Seated next, we have Mrs. Angela Fleming, immediate past President of St. Vincent's Lions Club. And seated next to her, Mrs. Pauline St. Croix, President of St. Vincent's Lions Club. Next, we have Mrs. Annette Moriarty, former Secretary of Dunn Memorial Academy, who has done a great deal to help this graduating class over the years. And with Mrs. Moriarty is her mother, Mrs. Frances Lee. Next we have Mrs. Jean Gibbons, retired teacher of Dunn Memorial Academy. Then we have Mr. William Hurley, former teacher of Dunn Memorial Academy, now employed with the St. John's Roman Catholic School Board. Seated next, we have Mrs. Betty Manville, retired teacher of Dunn Memorial Academy. Next, we have Mr. Cyril Stamp and Mrs. Betty Stamp, retired teacher of Dunn Memorial Academy. Next, we have Dr. Richard Reed, local physician who often looks after the bumps and bruises of our students. Next, we have Mr. Des Yetman, first Vice President of Holy Name Society, and his wife, Mrs. Bernadette Yetman. And back at my extreme left again, on the other side of the table, is Mr. Bert White, Commanding Officer of 2863 Dunn Memorial Cadet Corps. Could we have a round of applause, please, folks? Our graduation cake is waiting to be cut, and to perform that pleasant task, we call upon Miss Tracy Yetman and Mr. Lauren Kyle. Wish to show their parents their appreciation in a special way. I now ask the graduates to please come to the front of the gym to pick up their cards and remain there until all are ready. The inscription on the card reads as follows: with deepest appreciation for my educational opportunities, with sincere promise of a life of honor, ambition, gratitude, and with devotion to you for the ideals you have inspired. This token of recognition is given with love and esteem. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a number of people with us tonight in whose honor we should raise our glasses. We will begin by toasting the people to whom this night means the most, our graduates. We ask Mrs. Dorothy Cawley to do the honors. Mrs. Cawley, please.
Reverend Father Power, distinguished guests, parents, friends, and graduates. I am very honored tonight to have been given the privilege of paying tribute to the 1992-93 graduating class of Dunn Memorial Academy. Graduates, this moment belongs to you. Tonight's exercise marks, for many of you, the culmination of 13 years of hard work and perseverance. The pride you feel at this moment is justified. Congratulations on your success. Tonight is a time for you to reminisce. We hope that your years here at Dunn Memorial have been delightful and memorable. As you went about the everyday business of school life, you learned many things, forged lasting friendships, dealt with problems, and undoubtedly made a few mistakes, all of which have helped to shape your vision and mold your character. Tennyson wrote once that knowledge comes, but wisdom lingers. With time, you may forget how to solve a quadratic equation. be difficult to recall, or you may be hard-pressed to explain the difference between vision and fusion. But the skills you have acquired and the values you have nurtured here will continue to be a part of who you are and who you are becoming. Tonight, you stand on the threshold of the future. Your ties with family and with school have been loosened. You are ready to take your place in the world, a world that is forever changing. We, your teachers, are confident that you are prepared not only to meet that change, but to effect change as well. You are ready to embrace the challenges that lie ahead. You are capable of choosing wisely and to have the qualities to make a significant contribution to the betterment of society. Graduates, on behalf of my colleagues, I wish you health and happiness in the years ahead. And I ask God to bestow His blessings on all your future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and raise your glass in honor of our graduates.
Thank you, Mrs. Colley. And now Mr. Leon Toad will reply.
Thank you, Mrs. Colley, for your very kind remarks. I feel excited and happy to be finally starting the next chapter of life. However, deep down inside, there is a lonely feeling lurking about me. I'm not lonely due to the lack of family and friends. It's just that a part of me seems to be missing. This being a student of Dunn Memorial Academy. The memories I have of Dunn are joyful ones. They are memories that I will bring with me wherever I go. When you begin a new segment of your life, like we have begun to do, it seems you always have to leave something behind. This, for the most of us, is a hard thing to do. Leaving behind your family and friends to move on with your life is very disheartening. However, it's like they say, nothing lasts forever. Even though sometimes we hope it would. Leaving Dunn is not like just leaving school. Dunn, in my opinion, is like a family. A family of people who care for you, and to their best abilities try to help you in any way they can. The teachers of Dunn were always ready and willing to assist you. All of them will have my utmost respect in the future. If I meet you on the street, I will still refer to you as sir or ma'am. Not because I feel obligated to do so, but out of respect and admiration. Thank you.
Thank you, Leon. And now the toast to the teachers will be given by Ms. Roxanne Tobin, and Mrs. Marjorie Gibbons will respond.
Reverend Father Power, distinguished guests, parents, teachers, friends, and fellow graduates. It was an honor to have been chosen to give this toast this evening to the people who have helped us most throughout our 13 years of school, our teachers. For most graduates, school has been an enjoyable experience. From the first day in primary school, when our kindergarten teachers saw the mesmerized faces of the new students as they walked in the door, to our still mesmerized faces as we walk in here tonight. For those of us that did not enjoy waking up early in the morning and coming to school with homework not done, we appreciate all the encouragement that was given in the form of a lecture. Throughout the 13 years, we have worked hard in school and have experienced many exciting and pleasurable moments in the extracurricular activities. There have also been times when we need extra help and encouragement or a special friend to talk to, and for that, we are thankful. We may not have told you as often as we should that we appreciate those extra efforts. Our success here tonight is a result of your hard work and your extra efforts. I would now ask you to please stand and drink a toast to the
you, Roxanne, for this giving some forward, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome home, graduates. On behalf of my colleagues and myself, I would like to thank Roxanne for her kind words. Graduates, we, your teachers, are very proud of you. Not just tonight as you celebrate your high school graduation, but we are very proud of your many accomplishments and your victories throughout the years. We are equally proud of how you reached those accomplishments. For each of you, in your own special way, at your own special pace, have taken the wonders of the world and made them your own. Each of you have met the challenges set before you and responded to them creatively and with great excitement. You did this while showing us great loving care for yourselves, for each other, and for everyone around you. Graduates, you have given us, your teachers, the privilege of being part of something very important and something very wonderful. That is your lives and your growth. Your success is very important to each of us. As you leave here tonight, our prayer and our hope for you is that you will continue to grow and to make the world a better place for yourself and for others. We hope that you will continue to use God's gifts and God's talents that He has given you. Continue to strive to be the best you that you could be. Reach out, take a chance, make things happen. For even the most impossible dream can come true, and each of you have the ability to make those dreams come true. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbons. The next group to receive tribute are the parents of graduates. Ms. Renee Bowman has the privilege of representing her classmates with this toast.
Good evening, Father Power, distinguished guests, parents, teachers, friends, and fellow graduates. No duty is more urgent than that of saying thanks, but saying it to parents has an inherent difficulty. There are so many things to thank you for. I don't know where to begin or where to end. You were there through the countless fevered nights of early childhood, our first floundering steps, our first words, our first day of school. You led us from crayons to perfume, from toy guns to aftershave. You led us, though often reluctantly, from Barbie dolls and G.I. Joes to the real thing. Now we are reaching the far side of adolescence and approaching adulthood, where the simple joys of our childhood are cherished memories. We need your love and guidance nonetheless. We know you have always encouraged us to strive for excellence. In your own individual, unique ways, you have taught us not to be afraid to reach for the moon, that it is within our grasp. And if we miss or overreach, the worst that could happen is that we fall among the stars, where the possibilities are endless. As endless as our love and admiration for you. Thank you. Would you please rise with me and join me in the
Thank you, Renee. I now ask Mrs. Mary Bishop to kindly respond.
behalf of the parents, I want to thank Renee for all her kind comments. It is impossible for me to express in words how proud we are of all of you tonight. Indeed, you have come a long way from the time we sent you off to kindergarten to the successful graduates you are tonight. This is one of the happiest times of our lives, and we see so many fine young men and women leave Dunn Memorial with a high school diploma. It is a little sad for some of us here as we see our last child leave the school. I myself feel like I am part of the woodwork, as I have attended so many parent-teacher meetings over the past 27 years. But I know I can speak for all the parents here tonight that it was never a chore, but a pleasure to spend time with any of the teachers down through the years. They were always there to encourage and help you deal with any problems that your child might have. We hope that tonight, as you reach this milestone in your life and move on to further your education, that you will always remember that your parents will be there for you, to love, to encourage, and to help you in any way. May God send his blessings on you all, and may you succeed in whatever life has in store for you. Thank you.
I now call on our principal, Mrs. Shirley Yetman, to toast our school board, and reply will be given by Mrs. Lorraine Brown, Vice Chairperson of the Western Avalon RC School Board.
Reverend Father Power, distinguished guests, parents, teachers, friends, and graduates. Tonight, it is my distinct honor to pay tribute to the members of the Western Avalon Roman Catholic School Board for the vital part they play in the educational process of this school. At this particular time in the history of education, the members of our school board, like all others, are challenged to ensure that all children obtain the skills, the knowledge, and the abilities essential to survive in a fast-changing, highly competitive world. This challenge is a tall order and a huge responsibility. I feel that the members of our board meet this challenge by developing and adopting effective policies which provide direction for the operation of all schools under its jurisdiction. In addition, the members of the board have a definite vision for the future of their schools. And that vision is a vision for excellence. This vision has led the board to develop goals and strategies in order to address issues such as school improvement, academic success, and professional development for teachers. In its vision for school improvement and academic excellence, the school board expects all its personnel to work together as a team to improve the quality of instruction and programs for all our students. Just recently, our superintendent, Mr. Nicholas Hurley, wrote all district staff stating, and I quote, "I encourage all staff to give an extra effort so that excellence in education will be achieved," unquote. So tonight, on behalf of all the parents, the students, and the staff of Dunn Memorial Academy, I commend the members of the Western Avalon Roman Catholic School Board for the encouragement, understanding, attention, support, and consistent concern that they have shown to all of us in our daily efforts to attain academic success. Tonight, I gratefully acknowledge and thank all members members of the board for their untiring and dedicated efforts at a time when education demands a tremendous amount of time and service from all school board members. I also avail of the opportunity to welcome Mrs. Lorraine Brown, Vice Chairperson of the Western Avalon Roman Catholic School Board, and Mr. Brown, Mr. Ed Power, Assistant Superintendent, and Mrs. Power, Mr. Jack O'Brien, Trustee for Holywood, and Mrs. Pearl Kiley, our own local school board trustee. I thank you all for coming to share this important occasion with us. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and pay tribute to the members of the Western Avalon Roman Catholic School Board for their continued interest in and dedication to the education of our students.
Reverend Father, Mrs. Yeatman and staff, fellow school trustees, Mr. O'Brien, Mrs. Kiley, distinguished head-table guests, parents, invited guests, and especially the graduates. It's a pleasure to be here tonight to bring you greetings and congratulations on behalf of our chairman, Dr. Jim Hearn, and all of the members of the Western Avalon Roman Catholic School Board. Thank you, Mrs. Yeatman, for your kind words of support and acknowledgement of the school board. I also thank you for the invitation extended to my husband and me tonight. Several years ago, I attended one of your graduation celebrations, but did so then as a member of the Placentia St. Mary's Roman Catholic School Board. At that time, I was a novice school trustee, and yours was one of the first such events I had ever attended in an official capacity. I was so impressed by the spirit of your school and the quality of your graduation celebration that it became the standard by which I judged all other such events. And let me tell you that over the past several years, I have attended an awful lot of graduations, proms, and awards nights. And to this day, I still feel that there's a special something at Dunn Memorial Academy that is unique to your school, and it makes me feel good to be a part of it. To the graduates, I offer the board's best wishes and congratulations. You've worked hard to arrive at this point in your lives tonight, and deserve this celebration with your families, school, church, friends, and community. Do you realize that Dunn Memorial Academy is the only school in our board this year to have graduated 100% of its level 3s? No one can afford to beat that. I'm sure that when your parents saw you dressed tonight in your beautiful gowns and tuxedos, they were shocked into realizing that you've grown up. Already many of you have ventured out to the world on your own in pursuit of higher education or to enter the workforce. You are now part of the adult world, and I'm sure that you find it both exciting and probably a little bit overwhelming. The freedom you've dreamed of is now yours. As you enter the adult world, never lose sight of who you are or where you've come from. The love, support, and guidance that your parents and all your teachers since kindergarten have provided will see you through. To the parents, I know how you feel tonight because I've been there. It's so hard to let go and accept that they're no longer children, but if we love them, we must. Take comfort in knowing that without your love, support, and guidance, they would not have achieved the successes that they celebrate tonight. They'll keep in touch. I'm sure that since they've left home, the phone lines have been buzzing with calls to say hello, to get encouragement, or simply to send more money. At least that has been my experience. To Mrs. Yeatman and the staff, you brought this graduating class to this point. You deserve to feel proud and are to be commended. You can boast the 100% graduating rate of your students. I believe that your dedication and commitment to your students is evident by your undertaking to hire and pay out of your own pockets computer specialists to in-service you in your free time. When I heard of that initiative, I couldn't help but think, no wonder that school is so successful. And of course, Dunn Memorial will continue to prosper under your Challenge for Excellence program. You've expanded your sports program, your public speaking, and have included drama into your extracurriculars. Keep up the good work. You have the board's sincerest appreciation. Finally, graduates, don't stop now. Make continuing your education your next most important goal, for that's your insurance for a prosperous future. Enjoy your celebrations.